we are following along to the reverse health meal plan. You're going to see a few modifications because as we were shopping, we noticed it was pretty expensive just for the first 2 days that we shopped for. So when they asked for the whey protein powder, we did go ahead and supplement with some protein powder that I already had. But we're going to get started with the breakfast, which is the
protein porridge.
Okay, so we start off with 2 cups, I think it is, right, of almond milk. So let's get this opened up and poured in. And we're going to take our 2 cups of almond milk. We're going to put them in a pan on the stove and bring them to a boil. While we're waiting for our oat milk to come to boil, I'm going to go ahead and chop up our banana and our pecans for the topping to our porridge. Now it did call for walnuts, I believe it was, but again, we're making some modifications based on what I already had in my cupboard. So I'm going to go ahead and peel and chop up my banana and chop up some pecans. This one's just falling right apart on me. An important fact to note is that these portions are made for 2 people. This worked out perfectly for today's video since my sister is cooking with me. However, if you're making this just for yourself, you will want to cut the recipe in half. Another way that you could chop your pecans or walnuts would be in a food processor. This would actually be my preferred method. However, my food processor needs to be washed, so I'm going to go ahead and just chop these pecans up by hand. The oat milk has come to a boil, so it's ready for the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and pause on chopping the pecans and get 1 cup of oats. As per the instructions, we are going to stir the oats into the oat milk. Then cook on a low heat for about 5 minutes, stirring continuously. I'm going to let Sis stir the oats while I finish chopping up these pecans. Alright, now that our timer has gone off, I'm going to remove it from the heat and add a scoop of our protein powder. And then I just stir this in until it's fully combined. Okay, now it's time for us to scoop up some of this delicious, we hope, protein porridge. She has never tasted homemade oatmeal, she says, just from the packages. So this will be her first time tasting actual on the stove oatmeal. Right? Yep. All right. Now we get to add some toppings, so some bananas and some pecans. Make lots of messes here because, you know, we are so very neat. Our kitchens never get messy when we cook.
No, never.
Go ahead and add some bananas on yours there. And here is our final product. Breakfast for day number 1. It looks pretty good and it smells fantastic. Okay, now we're going to have a taste test. We're going to try a little bit of everything. Maybe. Awful big bite. What do you think? That's pretty good. I definitely taste the protein powder in it. And mine was it's kind of a milk chocolate tasting protein powder. So I can taste that in it. So it kind of tastes milk chocolatey. And I can get the creaminess from the almond milk in it.
Yeah.
And I love bananas, so.
I think they actually make it sweet.
Yeah, the bananas make it very sweet. So it's very, very tasty. All right, it's lunchtime. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to make a chicken orange and walnut salad. So we are going to start with the dressing. And these are all of the ingredients that we need. Let's get started. Okay, we are going to do 3 tablespoons of honey. My honey's starting to do a little crystallization, but it's still coming out pretty good. Elizabeth might need to come over here and give me a little hand. I got 1 tablespoon, and I think she can help us out with the other 2. You make it look so easy. Did you see how bad I was shaking? Okay, and 1 more. All right, now I think our next ingredient is mustard, if I'm correct. Yep. And 1 tablespoon of mustard. Now, again, I made some changes based on what I had at home, trying to make this just a little more budget friendly. And I did not have mustard, but from another diet that I tried out, I did have Dijon mustard, so that's what we're using, a tablespoon of Dijon mustard.
Next is 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
I love that this is minimizing how many dirty dishes we have. It's a lot of tablespoon here. Okay, now this, I believe, says 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, and I'm gonna squeeze it over my hand just to make sure that I don't get any of the seeds in there. So I'm just gonna do the lemon, since I don't squeeze very well. Do the whole lemon. All right, and we are to do 2 tablespoons orange juice, so I'm gonna cut it up, and then I'm gonna have my lovely assistant squeeze that in there for us. She squirted right at me. Vengeance is mine! Again with the orange juice! Sorry. Oh! I think we need to invest in a juicer. Okay, it calls for 1/3 teaspoon of cinnamon. I couldn't find my 1/3 teaspoon anywhere, so we're going to give it 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Maybe. Just a moment ago, I had an accident with the cinnamon, and hopefully we have enough left. There we go. And now we just mix, mix, mix. As I'm mixing, it comes to my realization that we did not just put our last ingredient in here, because it says to season with salt and pepper. So let me grab the salt and pepper. So I'm just going to put a little salt and then a little pepper. Not a whole lot, because I actually don't season very much with salt and pepper. Woo! That pepper smells strong. I'm going to give it a little taste. Okay, now that we're done with the dressing, we're going to go ahead and start working on the salad. There are a few major changes that we're making, again, based on what I had in my pantry, so I want to go ahead and make you aware of those. First, we are supposed to grill a chicken. So I will put the directions for what we're supposed to do up on the screen, but I had this chicken breast already prepared, and we're going to use it instead. It made it a lot simpler, quicker. I had it, and I didn't have to use money to purchase something else. Also, we are supposed to use 4 handfuls of rocket on top of iceberg lettuce. We looked all over for rocket in our small country stores. We have to travel like half an hour to get to any stores. Nobody had any rocket. So instead of just the 1/4 cup of iceberg lettuce that we're supposed to use in our salad, we are replacing the rocket with iceberg lettuce as well. So we're going to be using about 1.5 cups of iceberg lettuce in this salad. Let's get started. I'm going to put a little olive oil in the pan and rub it around to grease the pan. Then I just open and drain the can of chicken, put the pan on the stove, and dump the chicken into it. And yes, I made a slight mess during cooking. Not surprising at all. I like to spread this chicken around evenly in the pan and then give it time to sit and cook. Once it starts sizzling, I do like to stir it around a little bit to make sure that it cooks evenly. I quickly cleaned the pan, re-oiled it, and then toasted 1/4 cup of pecans. I did turn them halfway through the cooking. Okay, I went ahead and cooked up my chicken and toasted up my pecans. Almost said walnuts, my pecans. So I'm going to go ahead and start chopping up my 1.5 cups of iceberg lettuce. Let's see how much that gave us. There's a cup. We need a little bit more. Okay, I know this is 2 cups, but I think that'll work. All right. Since we are doing the original iceberg lettuce plus the rockets that we're replacing, 2 cups will be fine. Plus greens are delicious and good for you, and it'll just make it last that much longer. Okay, I have our walnuts and our chicken in the fridge. They're just chilling out because I want them nice and cool before I add them to our salad bowl. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel up our orange that we're gonna add, and then I will also add our pomegranate seeds. So don't worry, I won't make you watch me peel this entire orange. I will speed it up. Okay, let's go ahead and divide our orange up into pieces, and then we'll add that to our salad. Okay, then it says 1/3 pomegranate seeds. It doesn't say 1/3 what, but I'm going to assume that means 1/3 cups. So that's what we're going with, and that's just a wee bit too many. All right, let's add our seeds. It adds a really nice, pretty pop of color. Our chicken and our walnuts are now nice and cold, so we are going to add them to our beautiful salad and finish it all up. So I'm just going to start with the walnuts because they're the easiest to pour, and then our chicken. And looky there, I did it without making any kind of a mess. I know my cameraman is extremely impressed with me, my camera woman, because when I cook, messes are definitely a part of the process. And then I'm just going to toss it up here with a fork. This will last me personally. I know it says on there, I'm pretty sure, hang on, it says serves 2. Now, this is more than 2 servings for me. This is probably more like 4 servings. All right, we're going to get some plates out and give this a taste test. We're just trying a little bite today. And then of course we have to drizzle on the, let's get a spoon out before we do make that huge mess that I was just so proud of myself for not making. There we go. That apparently I needed. Could I have a fork, please? Thank you. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's try this out.
I never had pomegranate seeds before. They taste really good.
The dressing tastes a lot better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
When we gave it that little taste test.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy I didn't put very much pepper in it.
Yeah.
Because it's very pronounced, but there's like it's very sweet.
I think that's pomegranates.
Oh, okay. It's quite possible. Let me taste one of those on its own. Okay, yeah, because I haven't ever had one of those either.
So I would say the sweetness comes from either that or the oranges.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is really good. And is this something that you think we would make again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we are on to our last meal that we're going to cook of the day, and it is cod with creamy zoodles. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is start mixing up our spices that we're going to put on our codfish. Made me think of Peter Pan. Okay, so our chili powder.
Half teaspoon. 1 teaspoon paprika. 1 teaspoon turmeric.
That's why you need the pepper, because the pepper is what activates the turmeric.
1 teaspoon oregano.
And then the pepper. La, 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 la. Okay, 1. I do such a good job of this. 1, 2. Alright, can I have a fork, please? Oh, whisk, 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 whisk. Okay, I've got my piece of cod here, and I'm going to cut that in half. Then, I mean, half-ish. Maybe not perfectly half, but it's sort of half. Half enough. Then I'm going to take the spices, and I'm going to put it on my cod. I'm going to make sure I put it on both sides of my fish here. Then it says to coat it with a tablespoon of flour. So I'm just going to use a tablespoon for both pieces. I'm going to do my best here. I'm going to be completely transparent and let you know that I do not fry, ever, anything. New experience for me here. I actually don't know that potatoes. I have fried potatoes before. I was going to say, I don't know that I've ever fried anything. The outcome of this is actually quite questionable. It's covered to the best of our ability with a tablespoon of, this we just used gluten-free all-purpose flour. Now I am going to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a frying pan and then add the fish. I am supposed to fry it on one side for about 5 minutes. It does not specify how high the heat is supposed to be. However, I would suggest a low heat. So now we are supposed to warm up 1/4 cup of vegetable broth. Just kind of moving it around a little bit, and the time's not up yet for the side, just to keep it from sticking to the pan. I'm supposed to mix 1/3 cup cream with hot vegetable oil. Again, I used what was in my fridge, and my timer is going off to flip my fish. I'll do that in a minute. So I'll go ahead and add 1/3 cup of half and half with my hot vegetable broth. And give that a little stir. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to flip my fish. Oops, I'm not sure what side that was on. It wanted me to make some zucchini noodles, but I had these carrot spirals in the freezer, so I'm just going to use those, and that requires putting in 2 tablespoons of water. I already have one in there. I'm going to put another one in. And then you add the spirals. Cut those open. Important step there. And add those to a pan. And then I put those on the stove top for 8 to 10 minutes. I am pouring the stock and cream mixture into the pan with the cod and simmering for 2 to 3 minutes. Time to add the chives. And then let everything cook for another 1 to 2 minutes. Time to eat! I'm just going to add some of the carrot noodles, place the cod on top, and pour the sauce over everything. Alright, our cod with creamy zoodles, or coodles, are all finished, so we're going to give them a try. Make sure you get a little bit of that cod there. Also, we did add some chopped up tomatoes there at the end. It's pretty tasty. Yeah. So, all right, thank you so much for joining us, and let me know in the comments down below if you try this recipe out. Bye.
Bye.
The meal plan also had a tropical carrot smoothie suggested. This appeared to be for like an evening time snack. However, I already couldn't eat everything I prepared throughout the day. It was meal prepped and ready for a couple days of eating, so I chose to skip out on this one. The carrot smoothie did seem easy to make. It serves 4, and all you have to do is put everything into a blender and then serve it over ice.